Today we bring this beautiful Christmas season, which we began on Christmas Day, of course. We bring it to a close as we celebrate this very important solemnity of the Epiphany of the Lord. The word Epiphany literally means manifestation. And today, this feast day reminds us that the Lord came to manifest himself to all peoples. The Magi, we know their story well. The Magi represent precisely that, all peoples. They were from the east. They came from Timbuktu to encounter the Lord. And they were searching for deeper meaning in their lives, right? They followed the star, as we know. They encountered the Lord. They encountered his glory, in a sublime little baby, right? And then that glory they carried with them wherever they went thereafter. That last line in the gospel is always a favorite of mine. It says they went home by another way. And it means more than just a physical route. It means that, the direction of their lives was totally changed. What they encountered there, they took with them, and it reshaped the way that they carried themselves in their ongoing journey through life. And this is our story. We are a lot like the Magi. All of us are looking for deeper meaning in our lives. And, hopefully, right, we encounter the Lord and his glory. When we do so, right, our lives are changed. And we tend to carry that glory with us wherever we go. We too go home by another way. Of course, our challenge is to make sure that we're following the star, because sometimes we follow things that we think are lights, and they turn out to be false lights. They turn out to lead us into darkness, or they dwindle. If our ways are not changed by what we follow, then we know we're not following the Lord. If we're not going home by another way, then our encounter with the Lord hasn't really been a really genuine one. And in order to do so, we need to do what the Magi did. To authentically encounter the Lord, we need to, first of all, we need to go out of our way. We need to leave our comfort zone behind, whatever that is. And that means a lot of things. It means a lot of the way we think. It means a lot of our habits. These guys went way out of their way. And we also, to authentically encounter the Lord, we need to, like them, walk in faith. They had no idea where that star would lead them. They surrendered control in their lives. My, oh my, how hard that can be for us. And if and when we encounter the glory of the Lord, which usually doesn't reveal itself in extraordinary ways, but it's usually hidden in the simple, sublime, ordinary instances or moments of our life, right? The Magi did not encounter anything that was so out of the ordinary. It doesn't get simpler than a baby and his mother and, father standing there, right? That's a very simple, ordinary reality. That's usually how the Lord reveals his glory to us. But when he does so, what the Lord is going to show us is that his glory is not out there somewhere in some distant, far-reaching sphere or orbit. In fact, his glory is very much not only right in front of us, his glory is very much already within us. He lives, he's born, he grows within us. You know, a few years back, every year in February, I make a retreat. Usually, I go to this Benedictine monastery near Tampa, St. Leo Abbey. Never been there? Recommend you go there. It's a beautiful site, beautiful grounds. And I stay at a little guest house right next to the Abbey Church. There's the guest house has a back porch which overlooks a small lake. It's wonderful, beautiful, right? Some years ago, I was having a cup of coffee out there, praying, overlooking the lake, and it was one of those gorgeous mornings where temperature was like just right, and you know, the colors in the sky were just right at that time. There were palettes of pink and some streaks of purple and, you know, gold coming through, and there were birds, you know, that were hovering over the lake, flying across. And I remember telling the Lord, I said, man, this is absolutely gorgeous. This is beautiful. I remember telling the Lord, only an artist like you could create something this spectacularly beautiful. And instantly, I felt the Lord saying to me, and this is a quote, and by the way, I should preface it by saying, I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear a voice, okay? I'm nuts, but I don't hear voices. I don't. But immediately, I felt the Lord, I sensed the Lord very strongly saying to me, whenever you see such beauty, you're looking into a mirror. I'm holding up a mirror to you. Now you might say, when you look at me, you might say, boy, the Lord got it wrong, you know, but this is exactly what the Lord wishes to do to us. This is what this feast day communicates to us. The Lord holds up a mirror to us. The Lord wants us, in discovering and encountering Him, the Lord wants us to be profoundly aware that we bear His image, we bear His life within us. We bear His glory, His majesty, His creativity, His life potential within us. You know, as we celebrate the feast day of our parish, and you know, we're very blessed that we can walk into this structure, right, routinely. And I have to say, you know, Monsignor Hilario Candela, who was the name of the architect that designed this majestic church, boy, they got it right. They got it right. You know, I hear it from parishioners all the time. I hear it from visitors at weddings, at baptisms, you know, funerals, people who sometimes will walk in just to pray in the church and say, oh my gosh, I've never been in here. What a majestic church. You can't help but to walk in here, and when you look at this design, you look at this structure, I mean, it communicates. It communicates the majesty, the glory, the magnificence, the transcendence of the Lord. And let me tell you that the Lord, whenever we walk in here and we see this, the Lord is holding up a big mirror to us and saying to us, this is what you carry inside of you. This is what you bear. And hopefully, our encountering the Lord here in this place helps us to go home constantly by another way. So as we make this transition from the Christmas season into ordinary time, in which we are called to experience the extraordinary magnificence of the Lord in the everyday ordinary realities of our life, may we discover Him there all the more. May we all the more integrate His glory, celebrate it, and constantly continue to go home by another way. My dear friends,